You mentioned before that during the project meeting it might turn out that some of the things might be in need of modification, and we have been doing some modification ourselves on this very model. But what's the tool to track these kind of changes? So what's the method to track how your drawing progresses?
Okay. Yes, we have actually something called the drawing comparison. Mm-hmm. And the drawing comparison is if you have several versions or several alternatives, or simply you would like to compare the common or the current version of this project with the previous one, you can easily use this. This actually has 3 options. If you click here, you will find the first 2 options are working in project. So if you have several drawings in this same project, you can compare one to another and you will have a visual result. But now I will use another one which I like to use because I just tend to save projects in several versions in separate files. And this is what I have. I have a plan version 3. It's I don't know, a few months earlier version, and this is the current version. So I would like to compare the current drawing with a plan view of this project. Mm-hmm. And then I click there, and the software comes up with this dialog where I can actually set up how the differences will be colored. The differences from the first drawing, from the second drawing, and how
the unchanged items
will be the unchanged part represented. And an important thing is that sometimes you will change the representation of your projects from version to version, because you would like to have a 1 to 100 door scale, but later you changed your mind and you do that. If you would compare those 2 versions, you will have a lot of differences simply because of the 2D representation of the drawing. So you can make them equal in this level. You can say that the drawing settings should be equalized by setting the same wall fill pattern and the same opening scale. Here you can set it up. And once you are done with that, you just say, okay, the software compares the result, and now you have to place it somewhere. And the reason to that is that you can have multiple comparisons in a project, not just one. You can compare another drawing and place it here, and then another and place it there, and you can have a series of comparisons. And I think that this is very, very nice to have a visual clue that you can easily document the changes. But one thing that is most importantly interesting here is that you can follow the changes continuously.
Mm-hmm. So as they happen.
So let's say again we had the project coordination meeting and we found out that this is a small door. We must make it larger. I don't know, 100 centimeter wide. So this is something that must be obviously visualized here. So in that case, you just right click there and say refresh this comparison. And the software works a little and it compares it again, and you will see the difference coming up as it is.
I see that the door now is changed. Yeah. This refreshing command, am I right to say that all sections and all drawings need to be refreshed like that manually? So every time you have something taken from your 3D model and put into a 2D drawing, you have to manually refresh it to reflect the changes, right?
Yeah, well, actually you can manually refresh them one by one. If you don't want to refresh one of these drawings, then you can just say, okay, refresh this and that. But if you would like to refresh all of them, you will find that command here.
I see. Question from my part. This is a floor plan, obviously, that doesn't reflect all the details of a building. Yep. So what happens if you want to have a comparison of different sections? Can you do that?
Well, actually, you can make a version of the section, of the original section, to be able to comparable like this. We have a tutorial about that, how you can turn the dynamic content
we put the link into
something that you can document. And then those drawings would be comparable like that. And you will have the series. This is something that you can print. You can also make a plot layout out of this. So yeah, it works the same.